Welcome to our channel, Finding GUTUL. Our topic today is GUTUL on Meaning of Life. I am GUTUL, G-U-T-U-L. GUTUL in Chinese is Gu Tu Lao. When Gu and Tu are stacked together, they become our logos to the right. GUTUL on Meaning of Life is the seventh talk in the GUTUL series. The first six topics are Laozi on Dao De Jing, Buddha on Heart Sutra, God on the Bible, Plato on being, Marx on dialectical materialism, and GUTUL on physicalism. When it comes to the question on meaning of life, the typical or standard answers are 1. It is too complicated to explain and even to understand. 2. It is all dependent on individuals. And 3. It is happiness. These kind of answers bears substantial responsibility for the hedonistic and nihilistic culture and attitude rampant in today's materialistic and narcissistic society and world. Scholars or laymen who wish to opine on meaning of life have to be extremely careful about what they say. Please remain quiet on matters that you do not know, and remember that silence is often far better than nonsense. We claim that a simple and a single answer to meaning of life exists, and we will present it clearly, that is unmistakably, and cleanly, that is unambiguously, in this video. Much of the material in this video comes from the book Meaning of Life by GUTUL, available from Amazon.com. In a film series called Sex, Death, and Meaning of Life, produced by BBC, Richard Dawkins asks people in different cultures and walks of life about their views on meaning of life. Dawkins concluded that 1. Meaning of life is too complicated. 2. There is not a simple and a single answer to it. And 3. Meaning of life is something we carve out for ourselves. The Dalai Lama almost always gives happiness as his answer to meaning of life in his speeches and books. He will follow up his happiness answer with this explanation. Hard question it is not, what is meaning of life? That is an easy question to answer, but the hard question is, what makes true happiness? Well, we will answer Dalai Lama's hard question for you in this video. Fu Peilong, a famed Chinese philosopher, famously said, I taught at Taiwan University for over 30 years. Every year, students ask me this question about meaning of life. My answer was simple. Meaning of life is to continue to ask the question about meaning of life. I intentionally did not provide a clear answer because there is no standard answer to the question about meaning of life. Meaning of life can only be comprehended individually as each one of us goes on to live and experience our own life. Without soul or spirit, one cannot understand meaning of life. Fu never explained what he meant by soul or spirit. We will answer what Fu's soul or spirit is for you in this video. Susan Wolf, a famed philosophy professor at Duke University, offers three views on meaning of life. One, the fulfillment view. Two, the bipartite view. And three, the fitting fulfillment view. Well, this is exemplary of how philosophers explain a simple word or concept with fancier, more confusing words and concepts, which in turn require fancier words and concepts to explain. Our simple and single answer to meaning of life actually encompasses what Wolf says fancifully and then some. Before we leave our brief review of literature on meaning of life, we have to mention the 1946 book, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Frankl, a survivor of the Nazi concentration camps, concluded that the difference between those who had lived and those who have died in Nazi concentration camps came down to one thing: meaning. Frankl went on to say, this uniqueness and singleness which distinguishes each individual and gives a meaning to his existence has a bearing on one, creative work as much as it does on two, human love. A man who becomes conscious of the responsibility he bears toward a human being who affectionately waits for him, or toward an unfinished work, will never be able to throw away his life. He knows the why for his existence and will be able to bear almost anyhow. Well, how beautifully, movingly, and profoundly said. Putting together what these experts and humanists said about meaning of life, along with scientific knowledge about life, GUTUL says that meaning of life, one, is very simple, two, can be put into words very clearly, and three, is generally applicable to everyone. Meaning of life is one, metabolism and reproduction, two, empathy and sympathy, three, creation and recreation, and four, letting go. Viktor Frankl's human love is empathy and sympathy, and his creative work is creation. Susan Wolf's fulfillment view is metabolism and reproduction. Her bipartite view is empathy and sympathy, and her fitting fulfillment view is creation. As we do, Frankl thinks human love, that is empathy and sympathy, and creative work are very important parts of meaning of life, but Franco, like almost all other Western thinkers, including Wolff, stopped there and it fails to elevate meaning of life to letting it go. This is the major difference between West and East when it comes to philosophy and religion and culture. Western culture is the endless crying for me, and the endless wanting for more, more, and more. Eastern culture, on the other hand, is all about enlightenment and moderation, or the middle way. To the enlightened, there is no self versus other, and to the moderate, there is no more versus less. Now, how can we be sure that the Gutulian meaning of life encompasses all aspects of meaning of life and for everyone? Is everything that everyone does included in the Gutulian meaning of life? Well, metabolism and reproduction indeed happen all the time in every living being. Empathy and sympathy have also been shown to be indeed part of innate human nature, albeit being often, if not always, forgotten. Then how about creation or creative work and letting it go? Human creativity results into innovations in science, literature, and the liberal and the performing arts. While not all human beings are capable of or successful in creating something novel and impactful, all of us are capable of recreating from the fruits of others or nature's creativity. When we do sightseeing, attend an art exhibit, read a book, or watch a video, we are recreating in our heads our own creative version of the creation of the original artist or nature. When we engage in recreation, we are recreating and creating. Then how about letting it go? Why is it part and the most important part of meaning of life? In the case of not transcending time and not transcending space, we realize our substance and meaning within this life and within this body through metabolism. In the case of not transcending time, but transcending space, we realize our substance and meaning within this life, but beyond this body by thinking as others through empathy and thinking for others through sympathy. In the case of transcending time, but not transcending space, we realize our substance and meaning beyond this life, but within this body by propagating gene through reproduction and by propagating history through creation. And in the case of transcending both time and space, we realize our substance and meaning beyond this life and beyond this body by unifying our soul or spirit with the universe in symmetry and in non-duality through letting it go. Metabolism, reproduction, and the creation have things to do with substance or material. Metabolism and reproduction are to keep Jing alive in order to transcend time. Creation is to keep history alive to transcend time. Empathy, sympathy, and letting it go are all properties. Empathy and sympathy are to transcend space. Letting it go is to transcend both space and time. That concludes GUTUL on Meaning of Life. For additional detail on meaning of life, please consult GUTUL's book on Meaning of Life, available from Amazon. Here is one clue for finding GUTUL. Bye-bye.